Welcome. It's Monday's Inspire, Uplift, and Empower inspirational video. Today we're going to be talking about intuition and tapping more into our intuitive gifts. So let's get started. Many of us have been conditioned to only honor the left brain, which is the logical brain, the analytical one, the one that is math and science focused. It's the focused part of the brain. And we've been taught from a very young age that this is what's important. And if you're anything like me, who I spent 15 years in technology, that part of the brain was highly utilized and also highly regarded. And in doing so, what I did is I really lost track of that intuitive and creative side of my brain, the right side of the brain, which really brings forth more of that emotional intelligence, more of the creativity. And I found myself always thinking, always analyzing, always trying to come up with a response, those types of things, instead of allowing and just truly listening. And you could even see in my body language how it feels more relaxed. The right side of the brain really just allows for our intuition to more easily flow through. And I love Albert Einstein, and he has a quote, and I'm going to read it verbatim here. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. And that's Albert Einstein. And I'll just repeat just a little bit of that. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. And that is what we see within ourselves and within a lot of society, is that within ourselves, that is that repetitive thinking, that overthinking, that overdoing. And that is really what's happening in the left side. It's that logical, analytical, I need to know part of us. And then there's the part of us, the intuitive part. And that's what we really want to cultivate. And that's what we want to bring forth. And as I did that, which I started doing in around 2017, just started really bringing forth the intuition that exists within me and connecting, and connecting back to my soul, to who I am, not to who everybody else wants me to be, or who I've been conditioned to be, or who I am expected to be, or who I am supposed to be, but rather who I am. And one of the greatest ways that I started to do that was through meditation. And you see, there's this connection between the left brain and the right brain called the corpus callosum. And it is a connection that when we meditate grows stronger and denser. So that connection, that ability to tap into the analytical mind and then tap into the intuition to allow the creation to flow, becomes easier in our lives. And that is what we do every Friday in the Soul Community Calls. And I invite you to join us. It's a great way to learn how we go from that analytical mind into that intuitive mind and go back and forth so that you can more easily start to do that in your day. You could bring that into your work. You could bring that into your relationships. You could bring that into your life. And as I just spoke of relationships, sometimes we get really caught up in the logical mind in relationships. And that can look like, well, he said this, or she did this, or he did that, right? That's the logical mind. Instead of slowing down and relaxing and breathing and coming up with a creative solution and being emotionally intelligent in that relationship, which does take not just courage, but it takes reflection. It takes deep self-reflection to see what can be different and what you can bring in to help heal the relationship or to make it a more productive is not the word, but a more generous, compassionate, loving relationship, regardless of what kind of relationship it is. I don't know about you, but I like to have good relationships in my life where I can trust the people that I work with, where we have an open field of communication. And the right brain is that emotional intelligence. So, they talk about how the leaders moving forward, they're great coaches, they have emotional intelligence, they're creative, they're compassionate. That is the right side of the brain. That's the intuitive side. And so really coming into and learning how to connect that corpus callosum, that is really going to help you strengthen the left and the right side of the brain so you could come in and out. And so when you're in those conversations, whether that be a work relationship, a home relationship, or a friendship, whatever it is, you can use your logical mind, but you can also come into that intuitive gift that you have, that emotional intelligence that you have to help build and create a stronger, more loving relationship, which is so important. Also, in our career, we can use this when in meetings. Instead of trying to come up with an idea or be prepared to have an idea, we can sit back and truly listen and allow the creation to flow. You see, when we're thinking about it and continuously thinking about it, we're not allowing the flow to happen, the flow of the intuition, the flow of the imagination, the flow of creation. And so when we are stuck in our logical mind, inspiration can't flow through. And so it's this balance between the two. And I'll close with this story. And since it's National Hispanic Heritage Month still, and I said that each of the following weeks I would be saying something about my Hispanic heritage, is that my Nana, she was a very talented woman, right? And she used her logical mind to ensure that everything was taken care of in the home. But then also she shifted into that creative, compassionate, empathetic, emotionally intelligent side with the grandkids, right, with all of us, to ensure that we were loved. And one of the songs she used to sing is Sana sana colita de rana, sino sana hoy samara mañana, which means heal, heal, little tail of the frog. If you don't heal today, you'll heal tomorrow. And I love that saying for a couple reasons. Number one is that, healing is ingrained in us. And that if we don't heal it today, we always have tomorrow, because you always have free will. You always have choice. You could choose to start making a difference in your life. You could choose to watch these videos. You could choose to read the Wednesday guidance articles. You could choose to show up on Friday to help merge your left and your right brain so that you could show up more compassionate, considerate, and emotionally intelligent in life. You could choose those things, but you also don't have to. And you could keep living the life that you're living. It's your choice, right? So it's beautiful. You get to choose. And the second thing I love is, like, what does the tail of a frog have to do with anything? It's funny. So it's about enjoying life and really just starting to laugh and have fun. We don't have to take life so seriously. I was in a course. I went to a university called Delphi University in Georgia this past summer, and the instructor, she told me, take your soul seriously, but don't take life seriously. Laugh about life. And that was really empowering, and that's what I invite you to do. Take your soul's journey seriously, because, it is something that you get to do. You get to choose to do each day. You get to come back to you. And again, this isn't about becoming anybody else. This is just about becoming more of who we are. And we do that through healing. We do that through listening. We do that through the intuition. And so I invite you to come be with us on Friday. We have a wonderful time. It's at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Central time, and 12 p.m. Eastern time. You can register below. We'll see you.